Yeah. So the forgiveness technique that I use every day of my life is this. Every night before I close my eyes and go to sleep, I ask myself in prayer, have I put anyone outside my heart today? And usually I have. There's some poor soul out there that did not get Queen Edwene's edict about how to behave on planet Earth, so it's off for their heads. So at night when I'm doing my prayer and I notice all the times during the day that I have put people out of my heart, the first thing I have to do is forgive myself. And folks, that's the best gift that you can give to yourself. And when you forgive yourself, do it gently, sweetly, the way you would forgive a little child, with kindness. Because truthfully, you were doing the best you knew how to do, or you wouldn't have done it. You probably went unconscious for a moment. I look and see, what's my issue? Why do I keep doing this? And for me, it's the same issue. It's a control issue. I know how you ought to behave. Do you hear that? I'm working on it. Pray with me. Another prayer technique that I offer for you, and this is a master teaching, and it's not an easy one, but if you want to be on the fast track, you want to open a way for all the good that you desire, deserve to flow into your life, and you don't want to block it anymore. I went through a very difficult divorce about 18 years ago, and it was not my idea. It was his. And during the divorce, I learned, I didn't know this, but I learned that he had a girlfriend in our community for about 4 years, and everybody in the town knew about it. So I was not so much hurt as I was really angry, and humiliated and pissed off. God bless him. And that kind of feeling where you will say, I forgive you and I set you free, and then 2 minutes later you're thinking about it again. And I just kept doing that. I couldn't get there. So I went back to the Bible, and I was looking at what Jesus told the disciples about forgiveness. There's a section in the Gospels that the disciples come to Jesus, and this is not a direct quote, but this is what they meant. They say to him, how many times do we have to forgive these so-and-sos? And what did Jesus say? 70 times 7. How do you do that? How do you forgive somebody 70 times? I didn't know how to do that. So I took it literally. And I got me a notebook and a pen, and I wrote out, I, Edwene, forgive, what's his name, 35 times in the morning, 35 times in the evening for 7 days. That's a 70 times 7. The next week, I did myself. 35 in the morning, I, Edwene, forgive myself completely. 35 in the morning, 35 in the evening for 7 days. Then I did my father. Then I did my mother. Then I did my brother. Then I did all my previous relationships. That took a really long time. But when I was doing it, my ego would say, you don't have to do this. And I'd say, I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. And during the process of writing, I would begin to remember other things that I hadn't even thought of. They were stuck in my consciousness somewhere. And I would forgive things from early childhood and, all throughout my life, things when I was sarcastic and when I was mean-spirited and when I could use words to just cut you off at the knees. And I'm a reformed knee cutter offer. Thank you, God. But it was an amazing process. And at the end of the time of doing that, I was completely debt-free. So what I have come to know, please listen here, all financial debt is about unforgiveness. Financial debt is a socially acceptable way to punish yourself. When you no longer have a need to punish yourself, you will find a way to let that debt disappear.